Today, I'm reviewing the Mikolo M4 2.0 all-in-one Smith machine functional trainer. And this thing is awesome. Mikolo took what they did with the M4, which was one of my favorite all-time racks because they packed so much into it at such a low price, and they doubled down. They put tons of new upgrades that make this a total beast for somebody that likes to train with free weights. I put this through 3 hardcore workouts. I put 405 on the Smith machine and threw it around a little bit. I put all of my bumper plates on the bar, and then I pulled it to the front of the safety bars and sat on it. You're gonna be able to find out if this rack is gonna be tough enough to handle the kind of weights you wanna lift on it. All right, let's get started. It was easy to build. I put the entire rack together by myself. They made some quality of life improvements that I really liked. The knurling on the Smith bar is the best knurling I've seen on any all-in-one that I've reviewed to date. And Mikolo added the space in the knurling so that when I'm lining up my grip, it's just like in the commercial gym. When you rotate the Smith bar forward, there's a little metal peg with a rubber stopper on top of it that the bar rests on. Some of the competitors, the hook from the Smith bar is resting against the guide rod. This is well thought out. They give you a peg at the very top so you can store the Smith bar up and out of the way. This Smith machine feels solid. It has very little play. The guide rods are solid steel. It slides up and down smoothly. It's got the linear bearing, so it feels really good. I felt perfectly safe going heavy on it. Whoa! This is what the beauty of training solo on a Smith machine is. When you fail with 400 pounds on the bar, you can rack it low. I didn't need the safety stops. You know, I have them in an emergency, but I just rotated the bar, racked it 1 pin low. The safest way to train heavy solo in your garage. The Smith machine is all the way to the front of the rack, which is the best design because it gives you lots of room for your bench inside the rack when you're doing incline presses. Mikolo also raised the rear support beam off the ground. This gives you even more room inside the rack so you can do shoulder presses without turning your bench around, and it makes a really cool way to store all your attachments. Pull downs on the M4 2.0 are the best that I have experienced on any home gym setup. Look at how straight I can keep my back on these reps. I'm 6'3" and I'm pulling from almost straight overhead. Because the top pulley wheel is above the rack, the trigger trolleys can be positioned higher. And when you add in the upgraded leg holders, this feels really close to what I'm used to in a commercial gym. I have never been able to get a really good pull down on a home gym setup because I always have to lean way back to almost a 45-degree angle, not on the M4 2.0. This is awesome. The leg holder is also a step for the chin-up bar and a low row foot plate. The typical low row foot plate on these home gyms is bulky and it always gets in my way, so I will often just remove it. And this 3-in-1 upgrade lets me easily store the whole piece when it's not in use, and I can attach it in seconds when I want to use it. This is exactly what I want. This is perfect. These are the best budget pulley sliders, hands down. I love the way that they have this handle and the trigger. They're called trigger trolleys. One-handed, hit it just like that. It slides up and down really easily. The red anodized trigger. So good. All the other budget racks like this don't have a handle here. They just have like a plastic knob that you have to screw it tight or loosen it and then move the thing up and down. This, there's no screwing, there's no loosening, there's no tightening. It's legit. Like, this is rounded, which is the best design, so this can pull out smooth whether you're going up or down with it. It has a ton of weight storage, and it's designed so you can have full-size plates on the trolley and on the weight storage, and they don't touch. The cable system is a 2-to-1 ratio, which gives you an extra long travel distance. You have plenty of cable to do any movement you can think of. The pulleys are also independent of each other, so the left pulley pulls the left stack and the right pulley pulls the right stack. This can be nice if you have two people that want to train at the same time. This also makes it really easy to do supersets when you have a heavy weight for one movement and a light weight for the other movement. As you can see here, I'm able to move between stacks in just a few seconds. When loading the cable trolleys with heavy weights, you want to try and load them evenly on both sides. If you stack one side of the weight holder like I did here, you're going to feel more friction in the movement of this trolley. If you load the trolley evenly on both sides, it feels smooth and perfect. This is only noticeable on heavier weights. With light weights, you can't tell a difference. One change that they made to the 2.0 that I did not care for is how these guide rods attach to the top of the rack. They're just held in place by this plastic piece, and it just doesn't feel as stable, whereas the old 1.0 had welded metal sleeves that held the guide rods in place, and I like that better. Check out these power rack upgrades. They gave us 2-inch hole spacing on these front uprights. This makes it so you can find the perfect placement for the safety bars when you're training solo. They upgraded the J-cups to have a 6-inch landing zone. This is so cool. I can't tell you how many times I've been trying to rack a heavy weight with traditional J-cups, and I have to go super slow to make sure I don't get the bar hung up on the J-cup. This makes it so much safer training heavy. These upgrades really make a difference to anyone that likes to train with free weights. Whoa. Well, it supports my additional 280 pounds on top of all that. So the rear of this rack stayed solid on the ground, and that's with no weight storage. Now, imagine how much more solid this is if you have some weight storage in the back of the rack. I do a lot of sets right off these safety bars. It's like having a little half rack. The chin-up bar has 3 different grips. It's got light knurling, and it is well mounted so it does not shift on you. This landmine attachment is quick release. I love that. When I'm doing my regular pressing exercises, I always kick it. So the fact that I can take it off that quick, I want to do T-bar rows, boom. I'm back in play. Let's go.
The other thing that's cool about this landmine attachment is you can put it in any of the holes that you can put a band peg in. So you can put it on either side, front or back. Sometimes if you're limited on space, having the ability to put this in the back of the rack makes a big difference.
And it has bar storage for not one, but 2 bars. The pulley wheels on the front of the old 1.0, they were inside of the front uprights. These pulley wheels are up above the uprights. So on the 2.0, the location of those top holes where you can pull that trigger trolley up to is higher. I really noticed this when I was doing squats off the front of the rack. I just put those trolleys all the way to the top and I never worried about hitting them with the plates. And I'm 6'3".
The handles on the trigger trolleys are also on the inside on the 2.0, where on the 1.0, the handles were on the outside. On the old 1.0, I had to be extra careful when unracking the bar for squats. But on the 2.0, this is completely fixed. Look at all the space between the J-hooks and the trigger trolleys. It's perfect. This makes a huge difference.
It feels like they went out and looked at all the competitors and they found every feature that people really wanted and they put it in this machine. Like the rear support beam, it's up off the ground now. I have all my accessories, all my attachments, bar storage, plate storage, everything in this tiny little square where my M4 goes. They give you 2-inch spacing on the front uprights. They give you upgraded J-hooks with a 6-inch landing surface. They give you 20-inch long safety bars. The 3-in-1 leg holder, that thing is awesome. It looks cool. You just click it right in place, pull a little release valve and take it right off. The landmine attachment is also quick release with just 1 pin. There's plenty of room between the trolley and the J-hooks when you're squatting.
Check out the accessories that come with it. You get a nice push down rope. You get a short curl bar that swivels. And you get upgraded D-handles with extra grippy material on the grips.
The little hooks where I hang my accessories are part of that upper support beam. They're welded on there, you know, they're like just one piece. All of these things make using the M4 2.0 feel so good. You can get this in standard, ultra, and elite. And this is the ultra, so it has the aluminum pulley wheels. If you start by getting the standard, the price is so low. And then you can add the aluminum pulley wheels later. I didn't see anywhere on their website where you can get the weight stack separate. I'll bet you that's something they're gonna be bringing out soon, is like a weight stack upgrade. The difference in price between the 1.0 and the 2.0 currently is $200. I would definitely pay the extra $200 to get all the upgrades that come with the 2.0, especially for people that like to train with free weights. I love how cool it looks with all the red highlights. When I come out in my garage and I see it, I'm like, oh yeah, let's go. This is my new favorite all-in-one budget rack, one of the lowest prices. It packs in the most upgrades, including the ones that I really care about. I give it a 10 out of 10. I give it 2 thumbs up. If you want to get one of these, you can use my link in the description below, and that helps me out, and I appreciate that. That's all I got. More cool stuff to come. Keep grinding.